Hello, welcome back to Coffee and Colorful Conversation. Today's topic is one I'm very passionate about and something that my members of the Hair Color Secrets Insiders have also become passionate about. And it is intentional dimension. What does that mean? So, all of us learned how to highlight hair in beauty school. Some of us with a cap in the very beginning, and others with strictly foil, others with freehand painting and the new versions of highlighting with balayage and TZ lights and all of those things. But most of us end up, however we learned, whether it be the cap or be the foil or be the TZ lights, we get into this rut of doing the same thing to everyone over and over and over again and being a little surprised when we get a different result. What happens is we get into this groove, we get into this routine, and it's if we're weaving, it's pick up a weave, put it in the foil, pin it up, take the same amount of hair in between, do the next weave, do the next weave. And we're doing it horizontally down the back of the head, or if you start in the front, horizontal, 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 boom, 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 boom. Well, do you know that there is a big difference between horizontal, vertical, and diagonal foiling? Do you know that there's a big difference between how much space you take between your weaves or slices? Do you know there's a difference between slicing and weaving? There's also slice, skip, slice. There's so many different patterns and so many different ways of doing it. Then I'm not even getting into, low lights, mid lights, textural highlights, all the other things. So if you're in a highlighting rut, which I know a lot of you watching right now are like, oh my gosh, I really am. And you're thinking in your head, the pattern, even different educators that, can I have that stick on too? No, okay. Different educators that I watch, when I watch their videos, they all start right here on the side of the head, every single person that they do. And that's a routine, even though it's effective for them. And that's something that they're doing on purpose. It makes a difference where you start on the hair, what pattern you take, how you put the foils into the head, or not using foils, using plastic wrap, using mesh, whatever that may be. Shake it up and try something new. The best advice I've ever gotten, now I say that all the time, all of the great advice that I've gotten from my mentor, Beth Minardi, one of the biggest things that was a huge game-changing aha moment for me was learning to step back away from the head and really seeing what is needed right here, right now. We're hunched over. I talked about the hump on the back of my neck from being hunched over so much and all the regrets of working that way. But we're over the head and we're doing our thing and we're picking up the weave and we're putting it in foil and we're pinning it up and we're taking the next piece and we're talking to a coworker, and we can do it like this, right? We can do it on autopilot. But if you were to take your time and look at that hair and see that it may be completely solid from like here down in the area and need more going on up here, or not need anything at all and need to be skipped. If you took the time to step away and look at the overall person, look at their eye color, look at their skin color, look at their features. Do you want to? I always talk about my crimson chin. I don't want to bring any attention here. So if I do anything fun and funky, I do it up here. I love my blue eyes, even though I wear glasses and I have no makeup on right now. I'm happy to share with you. I have really nice blue eyes that I really like. As a matter of fact, I'm really tempted to get I'm talking about getting cataract surgery, even though I don't have cataracts, so that I can do away with the glasses. I don't do well clearly with contacts, or I would wear them. My eyes are very dry, they burn, they itch. It feels like I have rocks in them when I wear contacts. But for me, I don't want to bring any more attention here. I'm getting the sagginess in here. I have a lot of this like puppet lines around my mouth that I need to be fixed. But I would rather you look here on me than here. So I'm intentional about that on my clients. If my client has a not attractive chin or jawline, I'm not going to do a lot of boldness right here and bring the eye to there. But are you doing that? Or are you on autopilot? It's very, very easy. I'm not judging you. I'm not shaming you. I just want to bring to your attention that there is a better way. I shouldn't say better way. There's a different way because everyone has their way. And it's not for me to judge what your way is right or wrong. Just for me, I have seen people's look completely change just by me shifting the positioning of the foil. You know, when someone wants some pop ribbons in their hair, instead of doing 42,000 horizontal foils, as you can see on my hair, a couple well-placed foils. We talked about this, I think it was last week. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 foils did all of this in my hair. It was very simple, but it was the way that they were placed that I knew that I would get a lot of bang for my buck. If I were to do them simply horizontal this way, not only when I pull my hair back, am I going to see a harsh line, which I don't want to see if I pull my hair back, which I rarely do. But the clients do. And when they wash their hair, they don't want to see line around their whole face. So intentional dimension is one of my favorite things in the Hair Color Secrets Insider course, along with my bullshit balayage, which is a technique I created with the help of a dear friend of taking 3 different techniques, teasy lights, foil, regular traditional foil, and another little magic step in between, bringing those all together with this technique avoided the reason and the need for a lot of color melting afterwards. It's a very blended, beautiful result that mimics balayage without the stress of, am I going to get even lift? Was I too heavy handed when I touch down with the brush and I'm going to get a hot spot up here and then the ends aren't going to be light enough? Balayage takes a lot of practice to perfect. So if you're not getting the results that you want, I highly recommend you check out my bullshit balayage technique. A lot of people don't like the name because it has a curse word in it, but it's very on brand for me because it is like you're BSing your way through doing a balayage. It's a beautiful result. Your client does not care how you get the look on her hair. She just wants the look. So I'm going to show you an example of Ashley came to me, she moved, and this is what she came in with. Clearly, she is a stunningly beautiful girl. This is what she got, this picture on the left. Very brassy, very uneven. That is not, my friends, intentional dimension. That is, oh crap, we started in the back, it got too light, we landed in the front, we panicked, we took it all off, and this is what we got. So by me doing my intentional dimension, you see in the other photo, that's very complimentary to her haircut, to her beautiful face, to her beautiful eyes. Everything is much more beautiful and seamless. And that was just taking the time to be intentional about where to place that color. Here's another example. This is Hannah. She had highlights. Look at how heavy and solid those ends are in the before. Someone was being lazy and kept just doing the same thing over and over again, got all that buildup on the ends. And then when they went to retouch her, they didn't realize how heavy it was on the ends. And then it looks like an accidental, not pretty ombre. So by me going in and adding this intentional dimension, you see in the other picture how soft, how blended, how low maintenance, and how beautiful Hannah's hair looks. And it did not take 6 hours to go from left to right. It was intentional. It was on purpose. So I use the word intentional a lot. This is another example. This is a dear friend's sister-in-law. She was just trying to let her color grow out. How so many of our clients are saying, now I'm just going to let it grow out. You see how not attractive letting it grow out is. Same thing here. They kept just retouching the top, and the bottom of her hair is much darker than the midsection. So we went in and balanced and gave her intentional dimension and put the light pieces where she needed them, the dark pieces where she needed them, and everything is balanced. So it's a very simple thing to do. It's just something that I promise you've just gotten on a little bit of autopilot and didn't realize you were even doing it. So if your highlight clients are coming in every 6 weeks for a highlight, in my opinion, again, I always preface it with my opinion. I am not the god of hair color, even though Hannah, the one I just showed you, calls me Hair Jesus. Just saying, she calls me Hair Jesus because I saved her. But in my opinion, doing highlights every 6 weeks, that client should be a double process blonde. If they are so blondorexic that they need that refreshed blonde every 6 weeks, you're doing her a disservice by giving in to her demands and highlighting her every 6 weeks, because there's no way you're not overlapping in any way. At 6 weeks, you're lucky if you have this much to work with. And that's not a foil, that's a retouch. So that's just my 2 cents. That's my opinion. Here are some visuals on the vertical versus horizontal. So the vertical is going to give you a ribbon, a pop. The horizontal is going to give you a veil or a sheet. I'm going to show you, that's the diagram for all of you visual head sheet people. I am not a head sheet person. I am a show me on the hair. So on the hair, that is the difference between vertical and horizontal. Very well done visual where you can clearly see one is more of a ribbon and very bold and Kelly Clarkson. The other is a veil. It's a sheet. It's a covering over of the entire section. You don't need a lot of foils in either of these examples to get a lot of impact. A little bit goes a long way. So that's your homework. I want you to, when you go into the salon, whether it's later today, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's 2 days from now, I want you to really check in with yourself. Am I giving this guest a couture special service? It's like a custom suit versus a Target off the rack, piece of clothing where you put it on and it's the extra large, but it's a little big in the boobs, but tight in the belly, or vice versa. It's not tailored and special to you. You can do highlights all day long. And if you're in a chain salon where it's all about speed and efficiency and get them in, get them out, and it's very low priced, that's your model. That's your brand. That's not my brand. I consider myself a color expert. That's a bold statement to make. I hear, a lot of people rumble about, they're like, what makes a person say they're a color expert? To me, it's, I can handle anything that hits my chair, anything that sits in my chair. If it's splat, if it's henna, if it's sun-in, if it's box color for 14 years, anything that comes my way, I hope after almost 38 years in the industry, I'm down. I'm rolling up the sleeves and I'm telling the client, this is how much it's going to cost. This is how long it's going to take. I am not exaggerating. Bring breakfast, bring lunch, bring dinner. You're going to be spending the entire day with me. But if you want this fixed, this is what it takes. And I can do that if the hair can take it and if it's safe. I'm very mindful of the condition of the hair and of being responsible and doing the right thing. So intentional dimension is a game changer. It can change everything behind your chair. It can give you the confidence to raise your prices because deep down you're not a robot and you're not jamming them in between 4 other people and just mindlessly throwing foils into the hair. A lot of you and a lot of every hairdresser community is overfoiling. That's a big problem in our industry. I have a separate training called Fast and Fearless Foiling that addresses just that. Well-placed intentional foils will always be prettier and more special than 400 million foils put in out of fear and out of routine and robotic motion. That's, again, my opinion. So I hope if you need help with foiling, you'll reach out. You'll check out Fast and Fearless Foiling. If you are listening and you're like, you know what, I need help foiling, I need help formulating, I need help with placement, I need help with getting hairline stains off, I need help with the business behind my chair, I need forms to protect me with, if someone gets an allergic reaction or if the hair breaks off or whatever happens, all of those things and much, much more. Special guest artists coming into the community is the Hair Color Secrets Insider course. It is something that you own for life. It is over 100 videos. You're going to be seeing me talk about it a lot because we're gearing up for another rollout. We're going to be doing Hair Color Formulation Simplified again. That's an amazing workshop on formulation. And then you're going to be invited into the Hair Color Secrets Insiders. There are over 300 proud members of the Hair Color Secrets Insider community that are my world. I wake up every day inspired to love and serve them. And I hope that will be you someday soon. So if you're curious, I say check out my website, expertcolorsolutions with an S.com, has everything you need on there. Check out my YouTube. I would love for you to subscribe and click the bell on my YouTube, Elaine Travis. Check out my teaching style. Check out my videos. I would love to see you become an insider. and hopefully someday meet you in person. My in-person retreat is coming up this April 28th. It is not too late to join and have the ability to come to the in-person retreat. We have an amazing lineup. We have an amazing agenda, and I'm so excited to meet everyone. So if you're watching and you are an Inner Circle member already of the Insiders and you are booked and ready to come to the retreat, we are so excited to meet and greet you, have our white party on the rooftop, and have a lot of fun together. And if you are not in the Hair Color Secrets Insiders, or you're an insider and you have not joined the Inner Circle, reach out to me. We would love for you to join us for this retreat. It happens once a year, sometimes twice. This year, only once. And it is definitely an amazing experience. I have checked the pulse of our industry, and everyone is ready to be in person again. I've decided to go back to Premiere Orlando. I was on the fence because the shows haven't been what they normally have been, but I think everyone's ready. So if you're planning on coming to Premiere Orlando, I hope that you will stop into one of my classes. I'm teaching one on Sunday and one on Monday. So I hope to see you there as well. So thank you for coming to this coffee chat. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that I see you here next week. In the meantime, a brand new podcast comes out every single Monday. This Monday is this past Monday, I should say, is a solo episode where I give my 2 cents on my opinion on some controversial subjects in hair color forums, where I always share with you. I spend way too much time, but it is highly entertaining. So I hope you'll check out the podcast, Ask the Color Expert. It's available wherever you listen to podcasts. Very easy to access, free on your phone or wherever you listen to podcasts in your car. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks for watching, and have